Hey guys, for this video today, I will be sharing my thoughts on the Oakland Raiders moving to Las Vegas. And correct me if I'm wrong on this because I can't remember off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure the Raiders will be moving to Las Vegas in 2021. Possibly 2022. I can't remember exactly when off the top of my head, so if I am wrong, please correct me. I would really appreciate it. But anyways, before I get on to sharing my thoughts on the Raiders moving to Vegas, truth is, I was planning on doing this video in, I believe the end of 2017, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm going off from trying to remember this the best I can because I can't remember when I initially planned on doing this video, but what I believe ended up happening with this one is that at the end of 2017, I got really backed up with school because I was trying to finish it up back at the time, and then I had work on top of that, so I had to put this video on the back burner, and then until today, I ended up forgetting about it entirely. But today, I ended up finding a piece of paper in my room that had some video ideas that I haven't done yet, and I looked at it and I thought to myself, why don't I do this video about the Raiders moving to Vegas today? And I couldn't think of a better time to do it than right now. I really wanted to do this video back when the news first surfaced that the Raiders were moving to Vegas, but unfortunately at the time I had to put this on the back burner because of work and school, and then I forgot about it entirely until today. So here I am now sharing my thoughts, or about to share my thoughts on the Raiders moving to Vegas. But anyways, folks, regarding the Raiders, I actually feel that the move to Las Vegas will be a great move for the Raiders in the long term. Now, as I say that, though, I really do feel bad for the fans in Oakland that are losing the Raiders for, I believe, a second time. And, you know, I always do feel bad for the fans in cities that lose teams. But at the same time, unfortunately, it seems that the Raiders couldn't get a stadium built in Oakland. I'm not fully sure what happened there, but I'm pretty sure what happened was an arena or a stadium deal fell through. And then what ended up happening is that the Raiders decided, okay, well, we're going to try and move elsewhere. And now what's happening is there's a stadium being built in Las Vegas now. And I think that the move to Las Vegas is going to be really, really good for Oakland, or for the Raiders. Because not only will they have the support within Nevada and from California as well, because I know that I believe it's only about a 2 or 3 hour drive from Los Angeles to Las Vegas, possibly a bit longer. Correct me if I'm wrong on that because I'm not fully sure, eh? But the Raiders are not only going to have support within Nevada, they're going to still have lots of support from California. And on top of that, they're going to have fans from the NFL's other 31 cities wanting to come to Las Vegas to either see the Raiders or see the teams that the Raiders are playing, or possibly both teams because they're fans of both teams. I mean, in my opinion, I feel that the fact that Las Vegas is such a huge tourist hub is going to make the Raiders very, very successful in Vegas. I have absolutely zero worries about the Raiders having troubles in Las Vegas. I mean, not only are they moving to a tourist hub that people from all of the NFL's other fan bases are going to want to travel there to see their teams playing the Raiders, or even going to Vegas to see the Raiders, or even both if they like both teams. But, you know, being in a tourist hub like Las Vegas, they're going to get people that are going to want to come to Vegas just to see their teams playing Oakland. And as I just said, even playing or even there to see specifically see the Raiders, or of course, if they like both the Raiders and whoever the Raiders are playing. So I think that this move is going to be great for the Raiders. And on top of all that, they are going to be moving into a brand spanking new stadium. And, you know, I really do feel that this is going to be a great move for the Raiders. But as I say that, and I know I said this earlier, but I really do feel bad for the folks in Oakland that are not going to have the Raiders in Oakland any longer. Now, I'm going to mention the Vegas Golden Knights of the National Hockey League as well, because I'm sure that not everyone watching this video is a hockey fan, but ever since the Golden Knights joined the National Hockey League, they have yet to have a game where they have not sold out. I mean, not only has the state of Nevada gotten behind this hockey team, but on top of that, the Golden Knights have fans outside of Nevada, and on top of that as well, they have fans from the NHL's other 30 cities, soon to be 31 once Seattle joins the National Hockey League in, I believe, 2021. But because of the support from within Nevada, Golden Knights support from places and fans outside of Nevada as well, and on top of that, having Vegas being the tourist hub it is and drawing people to it already, they also get fans from the NHL's other 30, soon to be 31 franchises that want to go to Vegas for a vacation, to not only go there for a vacation, but to see either their team playing the Knights, or to see the Knights because they're fans of them, or to even see both teams because they like both teams that are playing, whether it's the Golden Knights or, say, the Toronto Maple Leafs. Maybe they're fans of both teams. There are people that don't just like one franchise. It's true. But the thing is, you know, the Golden Knights have done terrific. And I know that they're kind of in that honeymoon phase where they're the new kids in town, sort of speak. I understand that part. And also on top of that, they had an unbelievable first year as a franchise where they went all the way to the Stanley Cup final. So they've really created a lot of buzz. But the thing is that, you know, they've got fans from other cities and other teams wanting to come to Vegas to have a vacation and see their team against the Knights. And then you have the fans of the Knights on top of that. It's a wonderful, wonderful combination that so far has led to nothing short of nothing but sellouts. And I know that a football stadium is much, much bigger than a National Hockey League arena. But the games are only once a week. Sometimes there's an exception when a team plays a Sunday game and a Thursday night game, and they're both home games. But the thing is when you put that factor in now to a National Football League franchise, there is absolutely zero doubt in my mind that the Las Vegas Raiders will be a success and a half. They are going to do excellent. I have no doubt in my mind. And speaking of the Raiders moving to Vegas, they will be called the Las Vegas Raiders. And that is something that makes me happy, because when the Golden Knights joined the National Hockey League last season, they did not call themselves the Las Vegas Golden Knights. They just called themselves the Vegas Golden Knights. And personally, I much prefer the team calling themselves the Las Vegas Golden Knights over just Vegas. At least in my opinion, I don't expect you all to agree with me on that. But let me tell you, am I ever glad that the Raiders are going to be the Las Vegas Raiders? I would not want them to be just the Vegas Raiders. Las Vegas sounds way better, at least in my opinion. And speaking of the Raiders, I guarantee that they are never touching their home and away uniforms. Could they add an alternate? I really don't think they will, because that team has such a classic home and away pair of uniforms that are, when it comes to football, they are iconic. I could never see the Raiders making any change, let alone some new alternate design. But I could be wrong. But I highly doubt the Raiders are going to do anything but a throwback white jersey for an alternate. I mean, I could be wrong, but I just don't see the Raiders doing anything crazy with their uniforms ever, and I'm glad, because, you know, as much as more often than not, even though sometimes I find that stripeless jerseys are a little bit too plain, the Raiders have proven that sometimes less is more, and their jerseys and their uniforms, in my opinion, are awesome. They are really, really good. I love the simplicity. I love the classic look, and the combination of black and silver, especially on their black uniform or black jersey, in my opinion, is terrific. It really is. The Raiders have some of the best uniforms in the National Football League, in my opinion. They're plain and they're simple, but the color scheme looks great. I think they've got a great color scheme. It's simple, and they've always had really nice uniforms, in my opinion. Simple, traditional, nothing crazy, no digital alarm clock number font like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have right now. Just nice and simple, clean and sharp. And folks, could they ever try a new alternate jersey down the road? It's always possible, but I would not expect the Raiders to do anything at all. I can't see it. I just can't, at least not right now. And I can honestly say they probably won't. But I'm not going to say it's impossible, but you never know. But I know one thing, they're not touching their home and away uniforms. And their alternate white throwback jersey with the silver numbers, I really like that jersey too. But with the Raiders though, I mean, this is a pretty interesting situation that's going on with the NFL right now, because back in, I believe, 2016, correct me if I'm wrong, that was when the Rams moved from St. Louis back to Los Angeles. They've now got their new stadium that's opening up in, I believe, next year in 2020, possibly 2021 as well. So not only are the Rams have now been in Los Angeles for a few years now, and speaking of the Rams, they're going to be in the Super Bowl against New England in a couple weeks. They've been a really good team this season, and I could see them winning the entire I could see them beating the Patriots in the Super Bowl. They've had a pretty good run, especially from the end of their time in St. Louis to the first year in Los Angeles. They were not a good team, and now, holy crap, they've been really good, especially this season. But anyway, the Rams, they moved back to Los Angeles. Then the following year, the Chargers decided to leave San Diego, and now they're playing at the StubHub Center in Los Angeles, or in Carson, California, I believe. And that's the stadium for the Los Angeles Galaxy of Major League Soccer. So until this new stadium in Inglewood, California is built, where the Rams and the Chargers will be playing in, the Chargers are basically playing in a stadium that's actually smaller than some Canadian Football League stadiums, believe it or not. I'm not making this up, folks. And, you know, in my opinion, it's kind of crazy. But the Chargers right now, until they move to Inglewood with the Rams in that new stadium that's opening up in the next 1 to 2 years from now, they're playing in a stadium that's actually smaller than some Canadian Football League stadiums. I'm surprised. You know, I would have figured that they would have at least maybe even tried to share. Actually, they can't. I don't think they could have shared the Memorial Coliseum with the Rams, because there's also I believe the USC Trojans that play at the Coliseum as well in Los Angeles. Correct me if I'm wrong. But, you know, the Chargers, they're playing in that really small stadium for an NFL team. I mean, it's going to be good for them to move to that new stadium in Inglewood. But for me, as much as I wish that the Chargers could somehow find a way to get a stadium built in San Diego, because ever since the move was made from San Diego, that the Chargers made from San Diego to Los Angeles, I have not been a fan of that move at all. I have not been a fan of that move at all since the day it was announced. But I almost kind of wonder if maybe the Chargers would have been the team that was better off moving to Vegas instead of the Raiders. I don't know how other people feel about it, because from what I know, the Raiders have a massive following in Los Angeles. They were there for a long time. And I almost kind of wonder if the Raiders should have been the team joining the Rams in Inglewood instead of the Chargers. But at the same time, though, as of right now, there are 4 NFL teams in California. So seeing one of them moving to Las Vegas, in my opinion, is a good thing. But I know that whether the Rams would have joined, whether the Raiders would have joined the Rams in Inglewood, or moving to Las Vegas, I feel that the Raiders moving to Las Vegas will be a great move for that team. And I guarantee that they're going to be nothing short of successful there in Las Vegas. But anyways, folks, let me know what you guys think. I know one thing, whether the Raiders were going to move to Los Angeles or it's a move to Vegas, which is where they're going, I know that the Raiders are going to do really, really well. So with that, folks, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'd be curious to hear what you guys think. But with that, you guys, I'm going to call it a wrap, and as usual, take care, and of course, as always, bye for now.